I was talking about something. I saw an article, and it had some really good points to it. And I wanted to talk about these because I think this is really important, because you probably encounter those. We love our pets so much that we want to protect them so much that we don't want them to have treatment from veterinaries, and I mean that in a way that, you know, we treat them just like sometimes we treat ourselves at the doctor. We don't want them to get all up in our business, right. Even though we really need them to take care of us. So one point is, and this is, I like to say, how to get the proper care for your pet. That's a much nicer way of saying that than the actual article that I originally read, that I got some of these points from, which I think are very important. Now, first, of course, and we do this with our doctor, we lie. Yeah, I exercise 5 days a week. Yeah. Of course, you know. Well, I have 2 glasses of wine once a week, or whatever, you know. Right. And in this case, we do the same thing. So for number one rule, don't lie to your veterinarian, right? Very helpful. Just tell it like it is, you know, answer the questions truthfully. That way we can best help your pet and you. So it's like, wow, it's so overweight. No, I don't know. I'm walking him 3 times a day and feeding him lettuce. I mean, come on. You know, that's not true. Right. So the second one I want to talk about here is follow the veterinarian's instructions. Oh, yes. You know, just like at the human doctor, if you're given 2 weeks worth of a medication, take the entire 2 weeks worth, or give the entire 2 weeks worth to your pet. We do that for a reason. So you're usually treating past the time that you would stop seeing clinical signs. So let's say your pet is coughing. If the coughing stops, you still want to give out that entire 2 weeks worth of medication, because we do it for a reason. You know, we want to give past the point of the coughing stopping to make sure that we get rid of it all the way. So you shouldn't ever have leftover medications. Now, I have been guilty of this in the past. And of course, my excuse is my dog manages to slip out of it every single time, but leave the cone of shame on. Leave the cone of shame on, yes. Again, it's there for their benefit. Doesn't like it. He can't go through the doggy door with his cone of shame on. He's having trouble eating, and he's just so uncomfortable. They're going to act like they're dying, but it's for the best, because it's going to be a lot worse if they get to that wound or get to that, you know, incision site and lick and cause an infection. Ew, and that's gross. Yes. I have to tell you. And there are also, aside from the cone of shame, there are other types of things like inflatable devices that seem to work better. Almost looks like a little life preserver. Yeah, in some cases those would work well. Because we have our buddy somehow, I don't know if he shrinks his head or whatever, but he manages to slip no matter how they fasten that cone on, he manages to pull it off. So that's the thing. We got the kind of inflatable thing, and it's more comfortable for him. It's still funny trying to watch him walk out the doggy door, but even still, it's a little entertaining. Yeah. But those types of things, or, you know, don't remove, if they've got a splint or a cast on, don't think that you're going to play doctor veterinarian and take it off yourself or anything like. Well, he's walking just fine, you know. Right. Moving right along, pick one point of contact. Is that a good idea for like whoever is bringing it? Yeah, it's definitely beneficial, because there's so many times where there will be lack of communication or miscommunication between husband and wife, you know, mother-daughter, and even, you know, the owner and veterinary staff. If every time you call, you're speaking to somebody else and not explaining your entire story, if you can't talk to the same person, then that can get confusing as well. And that is a good point, because sometimes, especially husbands and wives, sometimes have different levels of communication with each other, or yes, I should say, anyway, significant others. And of course, also treat your vet like a doctor. That's always helpful. Yes. In other words, don't just, make sure that they are actually, you're giving them kind of the same type of respect and understand the education that your vet is here to help you, just like your doctor is here to help you. So that's right. Important. We go through many years of schooling to do what we do, and definitely is not helpful if, you know, you're comparing us to a breeder or a groomer or something like that. Right. Well, my breeder says. Yeah. Oh, do you get that? Yes, my groomer says this. Well, you know, usually we know a little bit more, you know, and we're there for the benefit of the pet. And finally, this is an interesting one. Don't try to emotionally bribe the veterinarian. Oh. Poor little Poopsie just can't, we can't do that to poor little Poopsie. Or golly, that's expensive. Why do you want to kill my dog because you want to make it so expensive?
Oh my goodness.
And those are the things that people understand. I mean, this is professional medical, not only your technique, but also the fact that, medicines and equipment and everything else, just like any other business, has its costs and things like that, right?
Exactly. I mean, so much of veterinary medicine and human medicine are now the same. We have the same diagnostic tests and much of the same treatments. So it does get expensive, and we understand that it gets expensive quickly. That's why we're big proponents of having pet insurance. So it does make it easier for you to be able to pay for the treatments that your pet would need so they can get better.
Exactly. And that's really important. Plus there are credit plans and things like that.
Absolutely.
So it's, and that would be on the owner to that's their own emotional thing. But yeah, that's almost any business you get that, but even still, that's especially important with your pet care.
Yes.
Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto, Cinema Veterinary Center, cinemavet.com. Give us the number.
661-253-9300.
And that is located on Cinema Drive in beautiful downtown Valencia. Of course, always a pleasure talking to you, Doctor.
Thank you so much.